In today's video, I'm going to be going over one of the best flips you can do to make so much profit in such little amount of time possible. And generally speaking, it's just a very, very good, easy way to make money, no matter when you're doing this, and can double or triple depending on how good deals you get on EH. Subscribe. Very few people who watch my videos subscribed. You've heard the drill a million times. Except I'll be doing a rank upgrade giveaway once I hit 2.5 thousand subs. So, if you subscribe, you're kind of getting money. Not really, though. I'm not buying subs. Don't look at me like that. Either way, without further ado, Discord description. Let's get into the video. Alright, so in today's video, as you heard in the intro, I'm going to be going about one of the best flips you can do. This flip is a flip that, generally speaking, is unanimous, and you don't need any requirements to do except for 2 to 3 million coins, and you can do it late game or any point in the time. First, something to go over. No, I'm not broke. This is maxed out armor, and I invested all my money into frickin' Paul. So if you're wondering how I had like 240 mil last video and now I'm down to 11 mil, that's how. But for the actual flip itself, this flip is going over dungeons, meaning it is especially helpful right now because Paul's elected. Even if Paul doesn't have max perks, but he has the best 2 perks, let's be real. But with Paul's 2 perks, people are doing dungeons a lot more because they can get more loot for free and make more profit. This opens up a world of opportunities to make money. Now, if Paul's not your mayor, don't worry about that. You can still make profit doing this. This flip is a zombie sword flip, and there's 3 different tiers you can do. 2 of them don't need a recipe. First, let's go over the simplest one, zombie sword. If we search up right now, zombie sword, we can see that the cheapest zombie sword has a very crucial ability that everyone needs to use. Holy, that's a flip. Let me buy that. Second, the zombie sword has an ability where every single time you right click, you get HP, and the higher upgrade your version, the more percent HP you get, and just generally speaking, the more HP you get in general, which makes this a very, very solid weapon and things people will need to use in dungeons. Now, the recipe for crafting up zombie sword can make profit. You need to go into the Rotten Flesh collection, and if we look, we should be able to see the collection very soon. Right here, zombie sword. You need 2 zombie hearts and a stick. Now, as of right now, each zombie heart, I believe, is a 8 stack, so a stack of, what is it called, Rotten Flesh. Each zombie heart is 4 stacks of Rotten Flesh, meaning you need 8 stacks of Rotten Flesh to craft up a zombie sword. If you create a buy order for 8 stacks of Rotten Flesh, which is 512, it will cost me 515,000 coins per. Usually, zombie swords go for about either 600k to 800k per, which is a pretty good flip in general. Really quick, let me cancel this before it starts filling, because I don't want it to. Oh my god, I'm never going to be able to cancel this, thank god. Okay, so you get the point. You can buy zombie hearts and craft up the zombie sword. However, in order to upgrade it, there's 2 key components you need. I spent 600k on this. Usually they go for about 600 to 650k. Also, if you're ordinary about this method, don't yell about me. This still makes a bunch of money. So far, I've made like 300,000 coins profit. You need 2 things to upgrade to 108. You need golden powder. So if you search up golden, you can see golden powder. Holy, that's expensive right now. Usually, and I think most people can verify, this goes for about like 60k per. However, for some reason, it's at like 500k per. But usually that goes for around 60 to 100k per. In addition to that, you need 1 enchanted gold block, which is worth like 140,000 coins. So usually it costs you about 200 to 40,000 coins to upgrade. And if it costs you 600k to buy the sword, then you can sell it for 1 mil. That does make profit. Now the next flip is from ornate to a florid zombie sword. Now this is where Paul comes in. This also gets them more expensive. As we can see, ornate swords go for 1 mil. However, the tier up florid swords go for, what the hell? This is also a good flip because it has all wise too. There's a bunch of really weird flips going on that are better than usual. But either way, the whole point is this costs a lot more, like 1 mil more to do. And in order to craft this weapon up, you need your innate zombie sword, which costs you 1 mil per on average. And this is the part that varies. You need 24 healing tissue. Now, depending on the price, this can either be crazy good or bad. Right now, this is crazy good. So, for example, you need 24 of them. And the price margin between this and the next weapon is 2 million coins. So if you do the math, you can spend about 80,000 coins per healing tissue and still make 400,000 K profit. However, I'm able to buy this for 50k per, meaning I make big money by doing this. So, if you get a good deal like what's happening right now, because there's a bunch of people doing dungeons, is that worth it? Oh my god, there's so much good stuff. As we can see, it's kind of crazy how much this is going for. But I started out, I mean, if we look at all this and see how much we got, I bought 24 for about, I spent 1.2 million coins on buying this, so about 50k per an average. And if I buy myself an ornate zombie sword, then we were able to make a bunch of profit. I buy this. This cost me 1.2. This cost me 1.2 mil. This cost me 1 mil, so 2.2 million coins combined. If I did my math right, which I'm 80% sure I did. And you get a florid sword. Now I just have to go and sell this, but you get the point. If we go and like, yo, florid sword, let's go. And it's like, okay, 2.9 million coins. I made 700,000 coins from that one flip, and it took me about a minute to do, tops. Now I also made profit because Ult-wise 2 should not be going for that low. That's with like an extra 200k on top of it. It makes everything so much better. So I'm going to put that up for like 3.5, 3.4, 3.3 million coins. And I'm my ornate sword up for 770,000 coins. This method is super good to do, if you didn't get the gist already. Nice thing is, generally speaking, it is always viable to do in some degree, especially because you can get kind of risky with how much and still make some profit. For example, the lowest 24 is going for 2.1 million coins. You're like, okay, that's a little bit not right. That's not as much profit as I want. But you can buy some of the ones for about 80k per. If you buy them for about 80k per, you still make enough profit that it's worth your time. So that's kind of the sweet spot you want to get. Anything under 80k per, buy. That's a steal. 80k per is like, okay, yeah, that's average. It's still making me money, but it's not making me that much. Or another thing you can do is you just run dungeons. And if you happen to get healing, you can ask, yo, can I have you guys' healing tissue? I want to craft up a florid sword, like to your dungeon party. And they might say yes. Now, you can't trade inside of dungeons, but they might say, yeah, sure. Or can I clear the healing tissue? You get it. You can probably get 2 or 3 or 4 from doing some runs if you happen to get the healing zombie and then make a bunch of profit from doing this. Overall, highly recommend doing this. I did this in my Dirt to Necron series, and it made me millions and millions of coins for how much profit you put in. Highly recommend. And without further ado, see you guys next one. Peace.